What do Falcons do? Rise up. Welcome to Rise Up Reactions, the show where we talk all things Falcons, NFL, Georgia sports, and in general the sports news of the day. I'm your host, Dr. Lee Denning, the lifelong sports fan and the Golden Hard Dog. Man, I can't recall a more electric atmosphere than getting that last minute, fourth quarter domination win over the Green Bay Mother Loving Packers. As I feared, because our fans are fickle, we did have a majority Packers group in my particular section. Most of the season ticket holders, and all of those tickets around me are season ticket holders, were sold to Green Bay Packers fans, people who travel really well for the game. And it was incredibly loud with a lot of Go Pack Goes in my section, which was incredibly disheartening. With that said, though, the rest of the stadium was actually pretty good for the Falcons, so I think we still had a pretty good turnout overall. I wish fans would actually show up to their games instead of selling the tickets to opposing fans. At least give them to people or sell them to people that you know are Falcons fans. But I digress. This was a needed win for the Falcons. It's one that I had questions about when I saw it on the slate because I didn't know what Jordan Love was going to be. I think we benefited tremendously in this win from the fact that David Bakhtiari was out, that Elton Jenkins went out in the middle of the game, that Aaron Jones wasn't here, and that Christian Watson wasn't here. With that said, we were just a couple of plays away from this being the God Trey Flowers sucks show because he was absolutely terrible filling in for Jeff Okudah, who may or may not be back this coming week. Now, again, Trey Flowers played great his first week. Didn't play great the second week. He ended up getting subbed out for Mike Hughes, who finally kind of shut down Jaden Reed, who had a couple of touchdowns against us in this game, finding himself open quite often in this game. Romeo Doubs was open several times as well, and Love just either overthrew him or couldn't get didn't have enough time to get to him. So that's what I would like to say. There were some definite things that we need to take away from this game that we need to do better, without a doubt. The first thing being play calling. Whatever we did in the fourth quarter, which was basically run the ball, occasional play action pass, but run the ball. Obviously, that works. Now, I get that defenses are very fresh in the first part of the game, and you want to set up the run you want to establish the pass, you want to do a bunch of things in the beginning of the game. There is zero reason whatsoever that a team that is built to run the damn ball should pass 2 out of 3 plays from the 1-yard line. That frustrated the crap out of me in the beginning of the game. It frustrated the few Falcons fans that were around me in my section. And you could see the rumblings in the crowd leading up to the fourth quarter of Fire Arthur Smith because there was just obvious terrible play calling. Defensively, again, it just depends. You had a couple of guys in particular getting picked on. You had Nate Landman getting picked on, who actually looked pretty good filling in for an injured Troy Anderson. And then you had Trey Flowers, who got picked on a ton. You didn't see the ball thrown Jesse Bates' way hardly at all. You had a couple of bad pass interferences. One of them, I would say, saved a touchdown. The other one, which was the second play of the game, I didn't think was necessary. If A.J. Terrell just turns around, he had already caught up to, I think it was Dubs who was open. He'd already caught up to, if he just turned around and looked for the ball, then he would have been able to make a play on it, possibly even get an interception. But, again, didn't end up happening. A.J. Terrell did have the almost redemption moment in the fourth quarter where he just dropped what would have been a pick six to give us the lead with a touchdown at that point. I'm actually glad that it worked out the way that it did because we were able to show a dominant defense in the fourth quarter. We allowed them to have a grand total of 10 plays that were not special teams in the fourth quarter. 3 and out twice and a 4 and out at the very end of the game. Defense came alive and played when they needed to. And that's something that's different about this team than, say, the last 5 years. In the last 5 years, if we had managed to get a lead, we would have fallen apart at the end, and we would have allowed for the 20-yard, the 25-yard play to get the other team into field goal range where they would have the opportunity to win the game. And we didn't do that this time. We actually were able to do the thing that we've not been able to do. And I would say we did it last week as well. In the fourth quarter, we might have been a little bit, but we did not break at all. And we have now shown very good defensive performances when it mattered in 2 games back-to-back. Now, again, we are not the high-flying sack producers that I thought we might be by this point, given Ryan Nielsen's leanings of what he likes to do. But we are playing fairly well. We shut down the run this time, which was very good. We needed to do that. The pass, again, they didn't throw Jesse Bates' way. They really didn't throw Richie Grant's way at all either. There was a missed tackle by Arnold Ebiketie, who has changed his number to 17. I can't call him AK-47 anymore. I don't know why he went to 17, but he was 17 in this game. So that's kind of new. He was 47 last week, so I don't know what's going on there. Then you had, again, Jordan Love played very well. They're saying he only had 151 yards through the air. It certainly looked like he had more than that. But again, that's just a testament to our defense. Had 3 passing touchdowns, but again, defense played pretty well. And Ritter, for his faults, again, I don't like that we came out trying to do 2 passing plays, 3 passing plays in early down situations in the first parts of the drive. I hated that it looked like we were trying to pass the ball and force the ball quite often. He had 32 pass attempts in this game, and Bijan Robinson had 19 carries for 124, as well as 4 catches for 48. There was no need for us to be passing the ball as much as we were, as effective as we were running the ball. And that showed later in the game when we tried to run the ball. It worked. There's a very scary fourth down call, which I kind of thought we should have kicked, but I'm very glad that we didn't. The way it worked out, it was a high risk, high reward situation. It was a toss play, which does not have a high percentage of actually picking up the yards you need, and there was some breakage into the backfield by the defense. But Bijan, because of his talent, was able to miss the defenders and pick up, I think it was 7 yards on that play. Now, again, this is the most electric that I have been in the stadium with other fans in a long time. I've been a season ticket holder. This is going into my 6th year. And I have not had the joy of seeing a winning Falcons team my entire time there. I've gone to games. I've screamed at games. I've enjoyed the food. I've enjoyed the fans. But I have watched the fan involvement become next to nothing. I have watched what should be home games basically be away games. And it's just nice to, even though my section sold out for Packers, that a ton of our own fans were still there, were still showing up, and had not given up going into the 4th quarter. Had some amazing catches when it mattered by guys like Jonnu Smith. Mac Hollins is probably one of the MVPs of the game. Drake London playing very well. Mac Hollins had a touchdown called back. I think he was in. I think the 2 toes touched before the back heel came down at all. They called it back, but hey, is what it is. That ended up being 3 instead of 7. And again, I don't know if that changed the game all that much. I think, again, the Falcons had opportunities in this game to win earlier and to do better. I don't know if we win this game if David Bakhtiari is there. I don't know if we win this game if Aaron Jones or Christian Watson play. But we did what we needed to do, and we got a win. An ugly win is still a win. And I am incredibly happy that the Falcons pulled it off. Guys, thank you for watching. I am trying to hit 500 subscribers by the time we get to the end of the 2023 season. Thank you so much. I've had a little bit of a boost lately. Thank you for the 170 of you who have subscribed to the channel. It means the world to me. And again, it just helps me reach more people. To the Grassi Posse who showed up, because there were a few of you around my stadium, welcome to Atlanta. Y'all are very cordial fans overall. There was no animosity between us, even watching Tom Grassi's stream later on. No animosity to the Packers. We don't have that kind of rivalry with you guys. This was just a good, hard-fought win. I really thought you guys were going to pull it out in the long run. I thought y'all were going to find a way to win this game, and you didn't. You're 1-1. You're still the division leader. You still have a bright future ahead of you with Jordan Love. I think he is the real deal for you. I don't think he's quite to the level of top 12 quarterback, top 10 quarterback, but he is a solid middle-tier guy right now, and he's somebody that you can build on for the future. Ritter coming out, putting some of the doubters to, or at least silencing some of the doubters, 237 yards on those 19 completions. He did have the ugly, ugly pick, and I think he got hit when he hit on the play, which is why it had a weird throw, weird lob up in the air. But again, for the guys saying that he's not accurate, I don't know what else you want. The passes that weren't complete were very close to the receiver. We're within catchable radius of almost every receiver. And the ones that weren't, he managed to throw the ball away. He used his legs more this time, which I really was glad to see him do. He ended up getting a touchdown on the ground. He had 39 on the ground. I don't know what you want from Desmond. He's not going to be Aaron Rodgers. He's not going to be Matt Ryan. He's not going to be Patrick Mahomes. That's not his game. If that's what you want, then yeah, we do need to be trying to get Caleb Williams. We do need to try and get the next #1 overall quarterback pick that's going to be great. But we got Desmond, and we need to actually show up for the guy. He's won 2 games. He's 30-0 since college in home games. And all he's done is win and show up when it mattered for us as Falcons. He did get his first interception. Probably should have had 2 more in the game, but he didn't. He was 1 touchdown, 1 interception, and another one on the ground. 237 yards. Had more than the Green Bay Packers quarterback, even though it didn't really look like he probably should have. I don't know what you want. And it's really disheartening to see the Falcons fans just losing their mind over Desmond Ridder playing. I don't know if it's some wishy-washy, I wish we'd gotten Lamar Jackson. I don't know if it's, hey, I wish we could go back to the heyday of Ryan. I don't know if it's, hey, Michael Vick was a great player, and, even if he hadn't had the dog fighting incident, he would have been a great player and take us to the Super Bowl. I don't know. I don't know what the conniption is about fans and not liking Ridder. I didn't like when we picked him last year. It's fine. He is what he is. He's where we are now. I'm glad we have him. And that's where I stand on it. I'm glad that we have Ridder. We need to stand up and support the guy. We go to Detroit next week. That is going to be an incredibly tough game. I'm going to go ahead and tell you I'm picking the Falcons to win it because I'm not going to pick against the Dirty Birds this year. My heart of hearts says that we only have about a 10 to 15% chance of winning that game because it's in Detroit and they're going to be angry that they just lost a game in overtime to Seattle. That's my heart of hearts saying that. But I really want us to win. And because I am a die-hard, ride-or-die Falcons fan, I am riding with this team. And I'm saying we're going to come out and we're going to fire on all cylinders, and Bijan's going to continue to lead the NFL in rushing and in running back receiving yards. And that's all I got for you today, guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you for liking, sharing, and subscribing. And as always, rise up.